Hello, my name is Mooncat and welcome back finally to another beta recap video. I haven't made one of these in quite some time now for various reasons, including me being on vacation, but I am finally back now and hopefully going forward I will make this a weekly thing once again. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Now before I start this video, I quickly want to thank you for your feedback of my sortable table that I shared in my video from yesterday. In case you didn't see that video, this is a table where you can sort all different buildings based on all these different values. If you want to learn more, I have a video and a link to this page in the description. Alright, let's get started. Let's first of all talk about the daily changelog. There's not really a lot to talk about, mostly bug fixes, but there are two things I want to mention. First of all, we have added an addition to Forge Plus. Buying it will disable all video ads while it is active. So now with Forge Plus, you also don't have to see ads anymore. I still don't think Forge Plus is worth it. I think it is too expensive still, but perhaps if this is the way it goes in the future with more and more features, perhaps lowering the price, perhaps eventually it will be worth it. But for now, I don't really think so. The second point, we have also added an option to use multiple inventory items at once. So this will allow you to open multiple items such as the boost crate all at once. So if you have 32, for example, you can open up to 32 at the same time. This also works on the new bounty chests that you get from the summer event main reward, which should come out on beta on the live servers in a couple of weeks, I think. So that's interesting. One interesting thing about the bounties specifically is that these give forge points, and because of that, you can only open as many that will bring you up to 100 forge points. So if you have over 100 forge points, you can't open these chests, and the same apply by opening multiples at the same time. So even though I have 9 here, I can only open 5, because opening a 6th one would mean opening it while I have more than 100 forge points, which is not possible. Hopefully that is changed. I don't really like this behavior. I don't think it would be a big deal if you could open more and get over 100 forge points in your inventory or in your bar, but it is what it is. Now there are also a couple of these that it doesn't work on. For example, defense boost, it doesn't work on those. I don't think it works on coin or supply boosts either. All of those stack, so it would make sense if they worked on those. It does not work on the supply or coin rush kits. That would also make sense to add. If you want to do multiple, 5-minute ones, for example, 3 of those to complete 15-minute productions, for example, I think it would make sense to add that as well in the future. And same when it comes to fragments. You can't combine multiple fragments into multiple buildings or kits and so on. So that's also something I do hope changes, because for me, for example, I'm sure a lot of others as well, I now have thousands of the settlement fragments. So yeah, it wouldn't be a little bit better if you could combine all of those at the same time. Anyway, so that's a nice little addition, nothing major, but hopefully in the future they also expand this to include a few more things as well. Then the rest of the changelog is more or less simply bug fixes. I will post this in the description, so if you want to read through this yourself, you can do so, but I don't think I need to talk about it here in this video. Alright, let's start the spoiler section by talking about something that I suppose is not a spoiler anymore. As I said, I have been away for quite some time. One thing I haven't talked about is these new achievement levels. This is now in archived spoilers because these have been added to the game. I'm not sure if they have been added to the live servers yet, but they are at least on beta. I did try to look for them in the changelogs, but I couldn't find them, so who knows. But it's a neat little addition. You now have level 6, 7 and 8 as well, in addition to the 5 levels we had before, with some nice colors. I quite like the look of them, so yeah, I quite like that. I think it's mainly for events for now, but hopefully they do also add higher levels of all the other achievements as well. Again, not a big deal, but a nice little addition. Alright, then let's talk about probably the main thing, the fall event. So the fall event should start perhaps next week or perhaps the week after that. So it shouldn't be too long until the fall event is out, but we do have a few things to look at already. So first of all, we have the main building, the sunflower oil press. It has 9 levels at the moment. It is 6x4, so quite big. And in my opinion, I really like the look of it. I think it looks really cool. I really like the colors, the autumn colors with the red leaves and all of that. Quite like the look of that. Really like the look of the house as well. So overall, I'm really happy with the look of it. We don't, of course, know what it gives yet. If I were to guess, I would perhaps guess something connected to supply or coin boosts. I think thematically that makes most sense, but who knows, perhaps it does give attack. Seems like quite a few buildings have given attack recently, but yeah, we don't know. We will have to see what it gives. Alright, we also have the donkey enclosure. This is a 2x2 building, and I think this will be a new daily special. So for example, in the fellowship event, which is currently running, we have a main building, a daily special, and an event pass building, and I think that will return this event as well. So I don't think this is the pass special, the pass event building, and the reason for that is that in the summer event, we got this special building as the pass reward, the Forge Fountain. In case you didn't see my video, this one gives a small Forge Point boost for 5 days, so it is limited to a couple of days. After that, it reverts to simply being a decoration. There is also another building with a similar boost. So, a while back ago now, back in April actually, I'm pretty sure I covered this in one of my beta recaps from ages ago. This is in the wildlife speculation video, or speculation thread. But here, 2 buildings were found. We have the Forge Fountain, which was added to the summer event, as you can see here. And then there was also the Cobalt Blue Lagoon, this building up here. This one we haven't seen yet, but I think this will be the pass reward in the fall event. So if we look at the Forge Fountain, the ID for that is the pass bonus 22A. The Cobalt Blue Lagoon is pass bonus 22B. So I think it makes sense that this is the next pass bonus we get. And I think it makes sense that this will be the pass bonus then for the fall event. And in terms of what it gives, well, it looks like we already know. After collecting it, the first 2 buildings, first 2 buildings will be doubled. So the collection of the first 2 buildings will be doubled for the first 5 days of the building. So again, it is limited to 5 days. But now, instead of it being a Forge Point boost, this one will double the building. So kind of like a mini blue galaxy, a temporary mini blue galaxy, boosting the first 2 productions for 5 days. And again, I think it is quite alright. It's not amazing. Similar to the Forge Fountain, it is not amazing. I don't think it is worth going for the pass bonus or the event pass simply for this. But if there are a few other buildings as well, in addition to this, it might be a nice option to spend some diamonds to unlock the event pass. So we will see. We'll have to see. And of course, when the event is out, we will know all of this. But I'm pretty sure the Cobalt Blue Lagoon, this building here, will be the pass bonus for the upcoming fall event, which means I think the donkey enclosure here will be similar to the Knight's Pavilion, another new building which will be a daily special during the event. So that will be my guess. We will have to see if that is correct. Here we have a few icons. I don't really like any of these, but yeah, each to their own, I suppose. So yeah, I think that's all it for the fall event for now. In terms of mechanic, I assume it will be similar to last year, but we will have to see when it comes around. Alright, let's move on to perhaps a new settlement. Who knows? So we have this Emissary chest here. We don't really know anything about it, but I do think Beelzebub here is right, perhaps a first sign of an upcoming settlement. So I think this might be similar to the... Where is it? Let's see if I can find it. I think it might be similar to the bounty chests. I think this might be a new reward that an emissary might give in an upcoming settlement, and it would perhaps give you this emissary chest instead of a regular reward. I think that makes sense, and if we look at the icon here, if we compare that to this, it's very similar. This might be a placeholder though. Perhaps this is the other variation of the chest. I perhaps should have checked that before. But yeah, I think it might be a similar mechanic. So a chest that goes to your inventory that you can open to get various sort of stuff. Who knows what you can get, but I think that might be interesting. It might perhaps also replace the town hall production like here. So perhaps instead of getting all of the emissary rewards directly, perhaps it will instead go to your inventory and you can open it as you want. That might be another idea, but who knows. Now, speaking of a new settlement, a while ago now, actually over a month ago, we did see this. In new tutorials, Egypt Cowboy. I don't really know what this is. As Beelzebub says here, not exactly sure how Egypt and Cowboy fit together, but there seems to be some new tutorial graphics. So we have some tutorial graphics, they are clearly a work in progress, but interesting that they have both Egypt and Cowboys. So that might mean that the next settlement will be a Cowboy settlement. Not quite sure how that would work, but that might be an idea. And that these are simply placeholders taken directly from the Egypt settlement that will later be updated to perhaps be something related to a Cowboy settlement. Who knows? That might be something completely different, but it's interesting to think about. I think a Cowboy settlement might be cool, but I don't know. Perhaps a little bit too recent for a settlement, but yeah, I suppose we will see. No, not what I would go for. It's an idea, it might not be, but it's interesting to think about at least. Alright, I think that's all for the spoilers. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Guild Battleground Watchtower and Siege Camp Changes. This has been a topic that quite a few of you have wanted me to talk about, so I suppose I will do it here. So for those who don't know, currently on beta they are testing some changes to Guild Battlegrounds, specifically how Watchtowers and Siege Camps are calculated. So they are testing moving away from additive to multiplicative bonuses when it comes to these two items. So instead of with one Siege Camp getting 24 and the next Siege Camp getting 24 additional, so 48 in total, it will now be multiplicative. So in other words, with one Siege Camp you get 24% bonus, with 2 you get 42, with 3 you get 56, and with 4 you reach the attrition cap or the bonus cap of 66.6%. So with these changes you only have up to a 2/3 chance of not getting attrition with Siege Camps. So that's the main change, and yeah, that's what all are talking about. So let me do this way. First of all, Druber here has compiled the general feedback. This was from a couple of weeks ago, so this might have changed a little bit, but I think it's probably still mostly relevant. So general feedback is mixed, with 1/3 of players liking it and 2/3 disliking it. This we can see in the polls. So they have had 3 rounds of polls. The first one we can see 150 liking it, a bit over 300 disliking it, so around 1 to 2. Same with the second round of votes, 100 to 200, so still 1/3, 2/3. And in the current round of voting, we also have the same, 1/3, 2/3. So it seems like the feedback on beta has been mostly the same. Around 1/3 likes it, 2/3 dislike it. The change is seen as a step in the right direction, and that I do agree with, because I do think Guild Battlegrounds is unbalanced, I do think that it's OP. You can simply get too many rewards from it. However, more adjustments were requested, especially regarding matchmaking. So that's another point. Matchmaking is definitely a big topic, and that might be changed in the future. Hopefully they do make some changes there. But yeah, that's something a little bit outside of the scope of this, I think. But yeah, it's seen. So I think a lot of people, or perhaps at least me, I think this is a step in the right direction. I do think cap is better. I actually quite like it. But I am worried that this is too late for many players. The Guild Battlegrounds has now been like it is for 2.5 years, something like that. So it might be too late. It might be too late to change it. I think if this was the way Guild Battlegrounds was from the beginning, I think it would have been much better. But who knows? It might be too late now, and this change might make less players interested in playing in Guild Battlegrounds. Now, I'm not sure if that might perhaps just be a temporary dip. Perhaps people will be less interested, stop playing a little bit, but then perhaps other players will be more interested, and perhaps things will pick up a little bit. I don't know. I guess that's why they are testing on beta right now. So yeah, we will see. And yeah, not being able to do 0 attrition fights is a major discussion point. That's probably quite clear. Most that gave feedback on it complained that it is no longer possible and will harm the game. So this, I agree and disagree. I completely get players who like doing this. Of course, it's really fun to fight a lot and all of that, but I don't think it is balanced. So even though it perhaps will harm the game, I do think it is, again, a step in the right direction. I don't think infinite fighting is good for the game, especially with all the rewards you get. But again, perhaps it is too late to change this now. So we'll see. Players wish for more positive changes for players as well. Some ideas were increasing the rewards, removing the cap, and giving more slots, making camps less expensive, and other balancing changes. So yeah, I do agree with this. I think there could be some changes when it comes to that. I think increasing the rewards might not be the best thing, but I think perhaps some more variety, perhaps some more interesting rewards. I'm not quite sure what that would be, but I think some changes when it comes to the rewards would be interesting. And yeah, we'll have to see what this is. And giving more slots, in general, I'm not in favor or against that, but I do think making things more balanced would be better. So instead of luck playing a big role in how many buildings you can place, I think keeping it more balanced would be better. So that each guild has roughly the same number of slots, depending on their starting position. The cap of 66% is seen as too low by most. It should be removed or at least adjusted to 75% or higher. I think 75% would be perhaps be better. I do think there should be a cap. I do like that there is a cap. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I do like it. But perhaps 75 is a more appropriate one. Previously, GBG felt too grindy. That is definitely my opinion. I don't like GBG. I think I've said that in quite a few videos, but it is what it is. Now players can calm down a bit and have no performance pressure anymore. Not sure about that, but yeah, perhaps it will be at least lessen it a little bit. But that also has a negative. Activity on map has decreased. This has negative effects, of course. Map feels boring in higher leagues, but also positive ones, possible for smaller guilds to advance. So I don't know how the power mechanics to play out. If it is better for small guilds or not, I don't know. One argument is that because there's not a cap, the big guilds can't trap smaller guilds as easily. But at the same time, the smaller guilds might also have a harder time advancing with a lower cap. So if it is better or not for smaller guilds, I don't quite know. I haven't been able to test it myself, so don't know, but that is something that we will have to, that I'm sure that they are looking at now as well. So yeah, that's the changes for Guild Battlegrounds. This is a quick recap of the feedback. I am definitely not going to go through 161 pages of feedback. If you want to do that yourself, this will be linked in the description. But yeah, there is a lot of feedback. There is a lot to talk about it. It is, again, currently being tested on beta. There is no signs of it being added to the live servers anytime soon. My guess would be that they will continue testing it for quite some time. I might be wrong, of course, but yeah, I don't see any indication that this will be added to the live servers yet. So for now, this is only on the beta servers. And I don't think you need to think too much about it until it comes out when that is. They might perhaps do a testing round on one of the live servers. For example, in the past they've done tests on the international server, they've done tests on the German servers and so on. Perhaps they will do that here for this as well. But for now it is limited to beta, and yeah, you don't have to think about it on the live servers quite yet. All right, I think that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully you enjoy the beta recaps being back. I'm quite excited to do more of these, so yeah, hopefully, probably you will see me again next week talking about whatever happens on beta in the upcoming week. Alright, before I end this video, let me thank my Patreons for their support. I would like to thank Homestar, Fort Prefect, Lorden, Robin, Kim Cayley, Joshua Clark, Rolf the 8th, PQ the Goat, Dan Simonad, Merrick P, Arkler, Hugo Kant von Count, Jan Fredriksen, Drew the Generous, Filda, Rush, Susan Weiss, Megarock, Rocco, Henrik Darkleber, Mattia, Opshay the Obsessed, Raf, Kim, XD, Adaril, Mike, Mindsy, and Wolfboy. Thanks a lot for your support. Thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you in the future.